Hello there, YouTube. This is Sibbles and Bits back at it again with Inkbound. Today's Friday, so we are doing some Boogie Nights with the Disco Wizard, Clairvoyant, and just as a little heads up, last video I talked about any sort of like more in-depth questions about either specific things or specific like scenarios that I can't generally cover in a run. Be sure to leave those down in the comments below. Last video, I believe, let me look at the name here. Jason added a comment on how critical damage works, and basically, like, I'm guessing, like, asking when to invest in it, how to invest in it, like all the interactions there. It's admittedly a very complicated subject. That said, I don't think that not that I don't think that it should take long. It's just convenient that I just recently submitted like suggestions for critical buffs to the devs, so I've already crunched a lot of those numbers, and I might be able to get that video out tomorrow. No promises on that one. It'd be nice to get it out tomorrow because I want to release these videos every Saturday. Again, just sort of like more of a chill ASMR like experience, I guess, of me just explaining in depth like certain mechanics to try and promote more understanding of the game, or at least like get another viewpoint out there for people to then develop their own opinions on things. Um, anyways, Clairvoyant, we're really good for all of these bosses. So we really just got to decide what we want to do. Again, Spike Dodge is absolutely terrible. If the system was different and we chose our run after the Sea of Ink, where we get our binding, or not our binding, our AUG and our, what am I trying to say? Our AUG and our vestige, I think that that would change this like incredibly, because then you might be able to get like, say, Beat of Metal, or you might have Tracker's Cleats or something like that, and you'd be like, okay, like I actually respectively apply Spike or Dodge somewhat, so I can at least start working on this through the first book. But since you don't have anything, not gonna happen really. So Argoloth, do we fight the squid? We could fight the squid. Do we like fighting the squid more than scaling critical damage? I'd say we do on this class. We do have a couple critical AUGs on, I believe, all of our buttons, actually. I should probably know this, but... Okay, Parsimonious. Is that actually good for us? It means that we can usually get away with using Spirit Bomb. I think that Shadow Book is just better for us because it scales our damage a little bit better. What are our books looking like? Ink Shield. Ink Shield's very good for us. Final Chapters is kind of iffy for us. Like, Ink Shield's good for us, but then of course we're going up against Giannis. Meep map. Shimmering Barricade should be fine for us, but Radiant Market early on Clairvoyant, honestly, I guess shouldn't be too bad. Like, it's going to get a little bit rough if there's 2 pots in the hard fights, but otherwise, like, 1 pot as a range class that has technically unlimited range, we really don't care about the ink. It's the global damage that kind of miffs us, and I think that Shadow Book would do that, would take care of us. Otherwise, Misery's Whip, when we do as much damage as we do on a turn, like, it'll add up, but I'm not too sure about that. It is good bossing damage, but it still is like we have to apply it, and then it deals 10 damage per turn. So it's not going to help us against Giannis, necessarily. I really don't want to take Parsimonious 2 times in a row. Maybe we take Misery's Whip. We take Misery's Whip when we go to Vengewood. I don't know. We have access to Shielding Aura, so we have that going for us. The main problem is that I really don't like giving final chapters to the tentacles. I don't know if that's still the case, actually, but if it is the case, I really don't like doing that. I would really rather do Shimmering Barricade. And so, of course, we're going up against Argalos, so we like seeing stuff like Evasion, damage resist, shielding. Being defensive is good, but as I've said in another video, being too defensive too early won't kill bosses for you, so we need to be able to make that pivot. We need to ride just enough defense going through Book 1, just enough defense going through Book 2, because after we get past the Chapter 3 elites, if we're defensive enough, we just win. And of course, like having like moderate defenses through the first book and the second book just makes us trade better, which is always nice. Okay. Okay, I literally forgot that I grabbed the AUG. I was like, did I really do that without... This is very nice, by the way. Again, dev's doing good work listening to feedback. The telekinesis now has a little imprint on where it's going to end up and where your new aura radius is going to be. My only feedback on this was that this needs to highlight enemies a different color unless it's actually hitting them. That's all I got on that. Anyways, we are going to... Do I want to hit you, actually? Pulse. Orb. Pulse. And we'll probably just shrapnelize this guy a bit. They're going to end up down here. I don't think I need the shielding. Then again, Hazard Aura deals damage at the start of our turn. But this is pretty much just to set up for the next turn. Because we almost have our Spirit Bomb ready. And that will just go ahead and eliminate them. It's possible the correct move is actually to move this up and Spirit Bomb these guys. And just deal with the pen nib some more. I think that's actually the correct move. And we're going to just slowly wiggle out here. I think we could have gotten this pen in there, but... Like, we're going to win this. I'm not too concerned. Alright. We're staying alive. Okay, if we're being defensive, spike damage doesn't seem bad, but burn damage is always a good option because Incendiary is, in my opinion, the best, like, drafted binding in the game, simply because it solves so many problems. Empowering Pulse, giving ourselves one ability power whenever we hit ourselves, honestly not a big concern for me. I'm perfectly fine with amplified telekinesis. The problem, though, is that this makes it so that it's harder for us to fit. What is it? It would pretty much just be Hexara. In fact, you know what? I actually admittedly read this tech on the Discord, and I'm about it. And it's a good time to show it off. We're going to draft our binding first. Yeah, you know, we'll take Blink. It's a bit of a risky move. And then what we should have done was not open this up. So now we're going to have to reroll. And now we can gain Precise or 2 shielding on Blink. Two shielding is what we're looking for. Because for whatever reason, the common Augs for the drafted bindings are like far superior to a lot of the common Augs on other skills. So depending on exactly which one you're aiming for, like obviously you don't know which one you're getting, that might influence going back there and doing that instead. The only thing is that if that's the case, start looking at drafted bindings using only like 2 Augs. Because of the fact that obviously taking a common now means that we can't have a purple on the... Oh, we can have a purple, but you understand what I'm saying. You can't, like, roid it up with a purple blue or anything like that. Oh, the bits. The fact that these bits have Rampager is really annoying. Means we're probably going to get hit by this pot, unfortunately. Unless we just absolutely shrapnelize him here. Oh, this is a very good setup here. Dealing 6 damage, we're probably going to need to just blink in place. Pick up the orb, get another pulse, and then Super Spirit. Super Spirit's kind of looking a little bit yikes if it's going to leave that bit at low health, because then he's just going to gain 4 damage that we're technically saving here. Can we block all that, actually? Well, we can block him, so I'm honestly more inclined to just do something like this. I guess that's going to, because I have Hazard Aura, it's actually going to bring him down a tick, so we're going to trade 1 HP. That's fine. Alright. probably going to save that last bit of HP too by just constantly throwing my damage back and forth. Now, our only physical skill is telekinesis, and while it would be nice for that to have a little bit more damage, for our bleed to have a little bit more damage, it's only +1 damage, or +2 in telekinesis' case. It's not really going to move the needle that much for me. If my drafted binding was like, say, Cleave, then I would think that this is pretty good at this point. But otherwise, let's just go ahead and take our like currently good damage and buff it. Nah. Not really feeling any of those. Precise would be nice, but we don't really... Well, I guess... I lied. Precise is pretty freaking good. Admittedly, though, it's bugged. So don't expect the shenanigans that we're about to get into to last forever. Critical telekinesis as an up tier? Really? Really? Are we going to become a pinball wizard? Hmm. I'm really liking that. Okay. I could also see bringing down Spirit Bomb, but then we would have to put the psionic charges in Spirit Bomb itself just to be able to detonate it. It's sounding like we're going to be a pinball wizard, so we're going to go ahead and just go into utility probably with Spirit Bomb. God, if I could get another one of those. Mwah. Anyways, at this point, do we want to put another purple on there? The other purple is Healing Aura. I'm not too certain about that. So, the purple's not going there. We want a purple on Blink. So that means that we do want globes. However, I don't know how we're going to beat this boss without some more help. 2 Mercurials. Thanks, game. It's useless. Pots with phasing. I am going to die. Mercurial. This is terrifying. Don't actually think I'm in the shielding range of that. And this is primarily why it needs a different color. and we might as well blink for some shield. We're gonna trade here. The thing that scares me the most is this upcoming turn. Yeah. We are in trouble. And I missed that there. Okay. Yeah, we mismanaged that turn entirely. We could have at least killed these guys and saved ourselves 10 health. But this is not a good place to be for us right now. Okay. We survived. Somehow. I would feel a lot better if I had plus 10 health. Steel Brella seems pretty good. I also really like cheese cards. If we're going to be stacking some precise, trying to do some stuff with this, getting some money would be nice. But again, we kind of need to live. Living is great. So I'm thinking it's Steel Brella. Bead of Ivy is also nothing to scoff at because we get a orb every turn. This brings our per stack poison damage up to 8. Which means that this is 64 damage to the nearest enemy every single time that we pick up an orb. If we're picking up orbs on single target, right, like we're always next to the boss or we're taking care of the ads, then going after the boss, then you got 64, it goes down to 32, and that's going to be up to 96, and so we're going to be able to slowly increment poison on them, which is basically just free damage. I honestly think this might be it. As opposed to Steel Brella, we actually have quite a bit of defense since we took Shielding Pulse. And there's some more poison damage. Do I like that more than another 10% magic power? Kind of? I think we need to heal here, though. That's the problem. We're also probably going to have to hit up the Carver. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take Potent Pulse here. Because it's damage. I'll be honest, I was kind of really hoping to see Poison Vapor here. These are fine, though. Incendiary, as I said, is pretty dang good. That'll help us deal more DOT. After Image. After Image is pretty good, especially when you have critical chance on your telekinesis. It means that these skills are actually going to get criticals more. And then, of course, Blink and After Image cannot get crits, so it's going to go into Psychic Pulse, Spirit Bomb, which actually means those lethal Spirit Bombs, which is like plus 100% critical damage, is actually going to be pretty good for us. I think we can actually try this. It's janky as hell, but just maybe. Especially with us stacking precise as well. Ooh. Okay. We don't need to be anywhere here. Let's go ahead and go to the shop so that we can heal. Another bead of ivy would be disgusting. I tried. Pressurization tank isn't bad for us right now. What, our base health is... Oof, that's a little rough though. If we heal, we bring ourselves out of pressurization tank. So then we're going into this fight with 22. That is admittedly very rough for us right now, because we have no AoE besides Spirit Bomb. We can at least dodge some auto attacks. We can defend, stack bleed. Are we going to be okay? 10% more Quillings, is that worth 70? We would have to see 70 blips of Quillings for that to be worth it. Consumables drop about 3, or not consumables, destructibles. We get more off of bosses, and off of the treasure pot. I think that Quilling Catcher this early does benefit us. I'm going to take Quilling Catcher, we're going to take Pressurization Tank. I'm debating if Tarnished Treasure is worth it. We are actually often, like, this is +1 magic power at the very least, because of the fact that telekinesis is always going to be off cooldown. Is that actually good? I don't think it's bad, because when we have After Image and we don't need it, that's another magic power, that's another magic power. Like, it's some decent damage. I'll take it. Max spook on this boss. Our Spirit Bomb is already primed to crit, which is kind of nice. All the enemies spawned away from us, because of course they did. Crit, orb, crit. And then I think the correct move is... We're actually fine right now, so let's just eliminate some people. Preferably while also gaining a spot of shield. Get Hazard Aura on the boss. So now what I almost feel like we're going to do a Spirit Bomb is just grab a whole bunch of crit. Because I think the only time we actually care to use it is when it's critting. Oh, don't you run away from me. You little twerp. Well, alright, I mean, like, this is a lot of damage. 235, or sorry, 285, and it's going to crit for, like, 2.5 damage, like, took off a huge chunk off Captor. Problem is how the heck are we going to eat this and not die? Trick question. We don't? Kind of funny, but I think this is actually a move here. Because it gives us shielding. Perfect. Okay. So this next turn, probably gonna have to do a little bit of jank. Now, I want the thing down here because I want those pots dead. You can bring it back just a little bit. I would like to also make sure that I hit myself. I don't think I hit myself, regardless. We are going to blink out of all of these AoEs. We are going to pulse. This actually takes care of most of our problems. I think we're going to be okay. Let's go ahead and prime a crit. Of course, it hit the other thing. I was kind of hoping that it would have crit already. So now give me this. And we're just going to blow up everything that's dealing damage to us, except I guess not really. We're still taking damage because you guys are dealing 9. All of you guys have iron cannon. Are you serious? It's a little disgusting, don't you think? We should be fine. I don't know why I took that. I didn't have enough will. Alright, hit that. Hit that. Prime this crit. Just gonna roll over ourselves a little bit. And blink. And now you're done. Gain will aura. Psychokinesis seems a lot better for us, though. If we're trying to use Spirit Bomb as much as possible, I think that Psychokinesis is definitely our play here. We also gain 2 shield whenever we run ourselves over, which is pretty good. I'm actually really about this. We can have Psychic Pulse give us 2 psionic charges. That seems pretty good. Plus 100 damage at full charge is... it's really not... It really doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. I don't know if Shielding Pulse is exclusive. I would like 2 of those. But let's take a look here. Of these options, I guess Charged Spirit Bomb is probably the best, because we should theoretically be at full charge all the time. Crit chance? Hello? Is that better than healing, though? Probably not, actually, for this specific build. We're still under pressurization tank. I don't think we care about Proving Grounds. Question is can we blow up Giannis? I think with a Super Spirit Bomb, with a couple of lethals, I think that we can. Like, we are honestly going to be into insane territory. And Inkshell is going to get in the way of that. It would be a good cop-out. Like, we should do good against Nim. We absolutely body Lusk with this build. But going into pacifism means that these very tiny... Like, it's pretty much... Like, not that I'd lose Pressurization Tank, because Pressurization Tank means something at the start of the battle. But also losing the magic power, like, it makes Tarnished Treasure useless. Which, some might argue it is useless. But, I don't know. I kind of like having Tarnished Treasure right now. It might be possible that this is actually the correct move. I feel like Gunkfield is a 0 integer for us, and I'm not scared of any enemies here. Giannis, again, is kind of like the big one. Giannis could be scary, but we're setting up our Spirit Bomb to just absolutely one-tap a lot of things. And if we can actually get that crit damage behind it, oof, it's going to be great. We have enough money. Go ahead, get a vault. We would love a Dun's Head. I like the barrier potion. If we keep getting healing out of these, we're going to lose our pressurization tank. Don't do this to me. This is great, honestly. Lap? Lap. We're relatively fine here. Let's go ahead. We have the situation that we want. Psychokinesis is critting. Psychic Pulse is on cooldown. Spirit Bomb does not have a critical charge. So we're going to force the critical charge. We could pop it right now, but that'd be a little why do that? They're in Hazard Aura. We'd like to see it. They're going to take some damage. I probably should have checked that enemies were going to be in that. That was like really silly of me. I'd like to get 3 of you guys, but it's really hard to see if you're actually being highlighted or not. There we go. Yeah, that should do it. Alright, so we're going to blink out of this, because we kind of need this. We need to pulse off that, and then just absolutely body everything else. We're going to take 4 damage here because I forgot about Gunkfield yet again. My greatest enemy is myself. I kind of want to send this up here, but I also don't want to put you in the pulse radius, because I don't want to give you more damage yet. Pulse, Power Orb. Give me some precise. And we now have Spirit Bomb primed with 3 charges. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit this man. I think I missed this man. That wasn't even a crit. Valmark is kind of funny. If we were above half health, it'd be a great way to actually get Psychokinesis to deal damage. I think in this build, though, we definitely need Verdant Sprouts of all these options, because we are trading like a motherfucker. Oh my god, purple? If only we did frostbite damage. We really do like critical damage, and we don't want to heal ourselves because that's actually going to take us out of pressurization tank, which is kind of a feels bad, man. As far as stuff here, I'll tell you what, reducing after images cooldown probably seems like the best play for us. Otherwise, we could re-roll this. Doesn't Green Spirit Bomb have a -1 cooldown? If we're doing this correctly, that'd be kind of good. It's critical chance. I am a fool. Well, let's get some Potent Pulse. Alright. Binding Empowerment will give us our run quest. Hopefully we get like a Baler's Tongue or something like that. Losing Jelly is absolutely cracked on this build. That might be our ticket to Giannis. Gain +1 stack of Evasive. I'm about that. These are Suffer. It might be extended telekinesis. What else would I put on this? Hex Aura is a blue. We would probably really like that. We kind of want an orb out of Blink. This might honestly be a skip. Show me what you got. Mumsies is going to be absolutely useless. Excuse me? Window to Eternal Longing this early is very interesting. It might just be Zephyrian, though. If we're trying to cluster enemies, we go ahead, we use Psychic Pulse. Everything's shocked. If we also have Spirit Bomb primed, then it's going to crit. Everything's going to take plus 50% damage. Seems pretty freaking good. If we would have seen this earlier, I guess this is 2 HP on the start of our turn, though. What the heck? This is early enough. We could easily get, like, we just did fight 1. So we have 2 hard fights, which are probably going to take 4 to 5 turns. And then, of course, we have the boss, the elites, the final boss. Like, this is easily going to give us somewhere around 20. We also have synergy with Verdant Sprout. We're just going to lose pressurization tank. Are we okay with that? We could still become a pinball wizard. Would you look at that? Zephyrian seems like it's better for our plan. I suppose it also scales our bleed. We could also purposefully take damage? I don't know. We could get access to Heal Aura, which would proc that again. Like, there's definitely some options here. I'm glad that this is a Glyph Globe, because that's what we need. We want to secure our purple on Blink, because another orb would go pretty freaking hard here. Team Captain, you shouldn't have. Let's prime that crit. Wiggle, pick up the power orb. Flap. Flap. You know, might as well use this. Get that stack of precise. Thankfully, we haven't actually been using the the bug of precise much. I'd be willing to bet money that that's the ticket right there. Oh my god. Oh no. It's terrible. Let's wiggle out. Start up on you, I guess. Okay. Okay, so if our new max HP is 60, we're trying to stay below 70%, then 42 is, or 41 is where we want to be, which means that we have one more turn of allowed healing. I don't like that. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to pulse. Blink the heck out of here. Because we're currently in his big chungus radius. Then we're going to do one of these. You're dead due to bleeding. Or hazard aura, even better. I like the rhino's little trot. They did very good on that. They're like big bumbling idiots. I think this build's coming together. We want magic power. 100%. New turn, gain 1 psionic charge. We really don't need to do that anymore. Giving us accurate image just means that we're definitely now, like if Psychic Pulse is off cooldown, we use accurate image, both of our abilities gain crits. Very good. If, that is assuming that Psychokinesis has, crit. If Psychokinesis doesn't have crit, all we gotta do is put Psychic Pulse on cooldown, we hit Spirit Bomb and Psychokinesis. This is very huge for our build. Aura Surge. I only have 1 aura. It's still, like, pretty dang good. The question is Psychic Beam actually better? Psychic Beam hits different. That's the problem for me. Do I hate Psychic Beam more than a reroll? We need 2 for our purple Aug. This is really difficult. We're at full charge all the time. But is that better than us never critting on Spirit Bomb? I'm not sure that that's necessarily the case. I think we can reroll here. Two critical charge, 2 stacks of evasive, 1 stack of swift. What? Well, we can't afford to reroll, so it's one of these two. Is it just 4 stacks of evasive so that I can actually just ignore auto attackers for 1 turn? Seems pretty good, actually, versus, who am I trying to say? Because this is irrelevant. Like, I mean, the extra stack of evasive is nice, but we've already taken critical charge, and we can always force a crit on whatever the heck we want. So this is not doing it for me. And the stack of Swift, I mean, I guess it's kind of good versus Argoloth because they have the chill that reduces your movement speed. So if you have Swift, you can basically still move. But we also have Blink for that, so I think it's just Refraction. Okay, what are we doing here? I don't think we meet... This is event 2, I believe. More crit damage, please. Do we need more Glyph Globes? At this point, I don't think so. We would like to see a Spirit Bomb Ascension. And if we get a Spirit Bomb Ascension, it's most likely going to increase its cost. So then we're going to want to get the -1 will cost on Spirit Bomb. Otherwise, I think we do just fine with just about anything that they offer us. Except for, I mean, like, we could always just take Aura Kinesis if that's what's offered to us. It's not a 0 integer, it's like plus 50 base damage. Okay. We might put... No, we're not going to put our Healing Aura in here. So let's go ahead for a Rare Augment. Alright. Money pot's here. Okay, now we refract. Then we blink. Then we pick up the orb. Then we don't actually have a Super Spirit Bomb. I'm a fool. That'll have to be next turn. Oh, because we don't have the +1 chart. Like, that would honestly be a good thing for Psychokinesis. If we would have put that in there. I honestly have to take care of you. I hope you get closer. But for the time being, let's just get some bleed on this pot here. That's a lot of rhinos. That's actually perfect. Just stay right there. Don't you move an inch. Give me 2 precise. Oh my good lord, that's a lot of critical damage. We actually want to take damage here. That's a little funny. I would like to kind of just snooch on in there, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Okay, so we're going to crit everything here. I don't know, maybe we come down just a little bit. This is seriously a lot of rhinos. We should be fine here. Going to blink, pick this up. Use pulse. Factory. We are now full blocking because everything's just auto-attacking us. Let's get this someplace where it's actually frickin' useful. Through that DR, huh? And I think someplace useful is like somewhere around here right now. Because we want to be able to Spirit Bomb and hit a lot of things next turn. But I suppose let's just try and deal some damage. Thankfully, they're going to be stomping out there. It's kind of where we want to see it. Let's try and take care of as many of you fools as possible. We're fine. We want the rhinos to try and charge this way so that we can safely move to the right. All right. Take this power orb, wiggle on out. Let's make sure that we're still in the hazard aura. And there we go. Yeah, all those rhinos with the Blight Bomb also did not help us at all. Death Scythe is interesting. Death Scythe is like super interesting. It's just way too late. Swindler's Getaway has some damage resistance. That's not a 0 integer. However, I think this is going to be a reroll. Some free shielding would be nice. On critting, inflict dazed. That's probably the ticket, actually. As much as 15% critical chance... Well, actually, 15% critical chance is, like, pretty roided for us. Let's get rid of this Quillen Catcher. It did its job. This is actually going to be a heal. It's sad to see 2 magic power there. Gain another critical charge. Absolutely unnecessary. Charging Spirit Bomb just seems bad, though. So, like, what else are we going to do with this? We're not re-rolling this. So I guess, sure. We'll just critical charge literally everything in our kit. Or I suppose it lost a critical charge baseline, so that actually is putting us back where we started. I did not realize that with refraction. I shouldn't have picked that up. I think we're fine without everything here. Like, acknowledgement of exemption is kind of haha funny, especially if we get the purple that we want. Because then we can blink 5 times and have 4 orbs on the ground for some reason. Roots of Reprieve basically just makes our kinesis free twice per turn whenever we kill something, which is honestly, like, pretty freaking good. Also to that note is refraction is magic. I don't think I like anything in there. Oh no, he's in here. Okay. The only reason I'm taking 4 damage is because I am in goop. Let's go ahead and just blink out. We do not have pressurization tank available right now. Kind of want Hazard Aura to do some heavy lifting here. Then if we blink, we'll take care of most of the damage. Can't quite prime that crit yet, so let's go ahead and just blink to add even more crit damage on to it. I'll be honest, I think this is actually the move. Just get rid of this guy. I don't want you in the radius. Let's pulse to put that on cooldown. Then we're gonna refract. Excuse me. That is a big deal. That is kind of a big deal. God, I really don't want to... Now we are in a awkward liminal space. I don't know if we can afford to keep farming this out, though. I think we're going to eventually have to hit him. He's got shimmering this turn, though, so we're going to dink around for at least a little longer. Well, Pulse is going to crit. And we lost our crit on Psycho... Oh, because we moved it. Okay. Well, that works. Yeah, I think we've made a mistake waiting for this. Please hit. Suppose another way to do this would be to do this. I can only afford to do this one more time. Thank you. Okay, so... yeah, this is only going to give us one phase. This is definitely a problem. It's not even giving us a phase. I honestly think we might be fine here. It probably sounds absolutely crazy. Get that crit, stack another precise. See, now why is this doing so much damage this time? Was I not fully charged the first time? If Bits is an idiot, please leave a comment down below. That's doing a lot more damage than I thought I should have been doing. Oh. Like I said, we're fine. That was horribly mismanaged, though. Especially if it is true that I wasn't at full psionic charges when I tried to crit on Spirit Bomb. If that's the case, oh my good lord. Because that second amount of damage had less precise charges and still did more damage. Explain. I'm bad, probably. But... Ew. On defeating an enemy, you can flash again for free? Like, honestly? That's 2 shield. That is 2 shield. Flash may not be bad. What do we have over here? Gain 1 stack of evasive. No. Honestly, reroll this. We'll take extracting. And we'll figure out what the heck we're doing with Spirit Bomb later. But I think this is Flash. Or I suppose we're fine with literally any Spirit Bomb Ascension or purple that we get. So we can't afford to reroll here. Spirit Cannon. Super Spirit Bomb, though, dealing like a whole truck ton of damage. If that crits, that's a lot of damage. I think that that's kind of worth, but it's going to be a little difficult for us to keep doing it because we didn't end up getting the negative cooldown. Both of these, I think, are perfectly viable. I just think that with the current setup, isn't Spirit Cannon easier? Like, either way, it's more damage. I'm going to take Super Spirit Bomb. I suppose, too, with us creating an Orb on Blink, that makes that, like, significantly better. We can fit this, so we'll take it. Poor pressurization tank. What is our window's at 26? Our Psychokinesis does 74 damage and shields us, and crits like a mother. Okay, you've got a little thing I've never seen before. I think set this up. Pulse. Orb. Pulse. Blink. Pulse? Actually, no, let's prime that crit. That's probably the best use of our time right now. And then we'll just go ahead and pulse again. Okay. That's a lot of damage. I'm wondering if there's any way I can get that guy down there in this. Like, how much hitbox do we actually have to afford up top? In fact, you know what? I'm more concerned about the guy down below. So let's just wiggle up just to get here. Wiggle up a little bit. Because, like, how much are we missing by? Barely? That's close. I like that. So now we're gonna blink. He's dead. He's frickin' dead. Then what I want to do is... Like, there's really not much I can do about you. I'm gonna take some damage. But I can take less damage. For sure. We needed room for the healing anyways, Copium. So we're gonna put that on cooldown. We're gonna blink on out. Grab this. Might as well crit with this, I guess. And then, even though this isn't critting... Oh, hold up. Hold up. That's, pretty good. I'm about that. Because then the Aura Pulse takes care of the rest of them. Okay. I'll tell you, Beat of Ivy's been doing some work. Pile of tiles seems disgusting on our build. Oh, what? No. Dare I say, I like pile of tiles more than Tarnished Treasure, and I like it more than re-rolling. I could re-roll for a legendary, but I honestly don't care. Critical damage seems like it's best for us. Controlled explosive seems absolutely ludicrous here. Basically, if we kill any of the tentacles with a super spirit bomb, then it will prime our next binding with the damage of the super spirit bomb, which could just be as simple as psychokinesis. It's pretty good. I like it a lot more than inflicting one burn on hit or re-rolling for a blue. Do we want to re-roll for a blue? We can't re-roll for a purple. I would really like to see something with defense, so maybe we do want to re-roll for a blue. Because our defense is actually quite ass on this build. We might just get clobbered. Or do we just believe in our damage? We're going to re-roll. Meep. Alright. Pile of tiles will see us through. Let's prime that crit. And then let's get the heck out of here. And then I guess, like, just scared. No, we don't want to do that. No, I don't think I will. Yeah, that's quite a bit of damage, boys. I really don't care about going through this gunk here, but it might just be this, blink, pick up orb, pulse, orb, pulse. That'll put us at full charges next turn. Kind of hoping for these tentacles right here, buddy. It'd be kind of nice. Well. Blap. Blap. Okay. Ow. Alright, next. Pulse. Orb. Pulse. Orb? Oh my god, it's already critting. If you guys didn't have damage resist, I swear to Lord. Okay, so we kind of don't want to crit. So we got to be a little careful about that. Okay. So here's how I'm honestly feeling. Like, they're obviously, like, in here. Let's try and get that third tentacle. It's a little bit more damage. There's no reason not to. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to blink again for the damage. I'm going to pick up some orbs. I'm going to blink again for the damage. And then we're going to crit, and we're going to kill you through your DR. 75% DR, I don't care. Get the frick out of here. Sit down. And then I guess we need to reposition our orb, so we'll just go ahead and preemptively do that. Get some pile of tiles out there. Our pile of tiles is now at 250. Okay, so this is how we need to roll. You want to put this in the center here. Then we're going to pulse, orb, pulse. We're going to a blink, orb. I'm willing to gamba here. Thank you. That's exactly where we want to see it. And then let's just go ahead and pulse again. I really don't want to waste this damage, so I almost want to phase you without using the Spirit Bomb. If that makes any sense. Because currently we're roiding this the hell up, but that might honestly be a little bit too greedy. Especially since we're trading a lot of HP here. So we're just going to go ahead and flop the phase. Okay, there's going to be a tentacle here. Works for me. And now these guys are going to get super angry. Pulse. You can snooch this orb. Then give me another pulse. Put us in the center again. The center of attention. And we'll just do a little baby. Actually, is that even worth it? Maybe it's not. Okay, now that's got a charge. That's also got a charge, which is great. We've got full charges. So we can refraction, put ourselves back in the center here. We're ready to super spirit bomb. Blink, orb, orb. Blink. And then we're just gonna blow them all up. Oh no! Yeah, I'd say this one was pretty clean. We're trading a lot here because we're not as defensive as we would like to be, but we're still defensive enough. Alright, let's see if we can't set up a crit and end this. So you need to crit. There you go. Believe you're in a position to do everything else we need you to do. Let's move up. Hit this. Blink up. Collect that. Collect that. And there we go. Well. That was a pretty explosive run, I would say. Definitely not where I thought that we would end up, but again, getting critical damage here, even if we weren't technically trying to deal critical damage, was very important because it allowed us to make sure that this had a crit, so that we could make sure that Spirit Bomb crit. And I guess if there's any takeaway today, and I will probably mention it in the critical video when that gets out, just because you prime charges doesn't mean that critical chance is useless. In fact, if all you're working on is just being like, okay, I'm just going to prime charges, how are you getting refraction or after image every turn? Like, legitimately. And how are you getting after image on the skills that you need to get on? Like, just think about that stuff. Critical chance is very important, especially in a prime charge meta, because otherwise you're only critting once a turn, and that's honestly like pretty garbage investment if you ask me. Precise is great. If we would have, we can't obviously get them at the same time, but if we could have, um, after image has a white that gives precise too, so we could have just been given us like tons of precise. We didn't really use the bug. The bug is that for whatever reason precise doesn't clean up after combat. So if you have no crit chance whatsoever, which is another viable strategy, grab like a ton of precision stacks, and then you can just go into the next fight with like 20 precision, and then just like crit something and do ridiculous damage. Otherwise, even without that, like precise is amazing. It's because of the fact that it only pays out when you crit. You can just keep racking it up until you want to crit, and it's, as you saw, it's ludicrous. Anyways, we are good to go. Hopefully the run was entertaining. Hopefully the run was enjoyable. If you have any feedback whatsoever, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. Any questions, concerns, comments, misplay alerts. And until next time, I'll catch you guys around.